So you guys opened a Hot Work studio, and I don't know if our listeners know what that is. So could you explain, Jen, to us a little bit about what Hot Works is?
Yeah, sure. So HotWorks is a 24/7 infrared fitness studio. What that means is you're working out inside our infrared saunas. Okay. We have 12 different sessions. People come and go as they please. And the infrared energy is the biggest selling point. Infrared energy has many benefits to it, including helps with inflammation, detox, improves your sleep, improves your skin. There's so many benefits to it. So
what made you even think about doing this? Like, what was the impetus for you to even think about taking this leap?
I kind of felt like, we all kind of get swallowed up with motherhood. And, Tom's job as an airline pilot, he would travel so often. And I'm the type of person where I don't like to commit to something. If I have to back out, I wanted to be reliable. So I figured the best way to do that would be to be my own boss in a way. And, I would go through and think, okay, well, I know this is my skill set. I'd probably be good at this. What can I do? Probably a couple years of that. And then I went to visit my brother and sister-in-law in Oklahoma, and she took me as a guest to that local HotWorks. And I just knew that was it, because we could be our own bosses.
I had always wanted to own my own business. And I have an economics degree from the Naval Academy, and the Navy paid for an MBA. So when COVID happened, I was able to take 6 months off from the airline with partial pay. And I figured that would be a great time to start a business.
How do you think you defined success? Like, what do you think success meant to you when you first signed the paperwork? How you would define, we've been successful?
For me, success looked like Jen having purpose in life, a new career, and her being happy on a daily basis. And, any money we made above and beyond that was going to be gravy to me.
HotWorks kind of puts like a number of members as like the pinnacle. We had a number, like we wanted to reach a certain number of members. That was before we even opened, before I even met people. Like once I was like meeting these people, I was like, okay, these people are not numbers.
Yeah.
They are people. They are like my family. So to me, the success kind of transformed a little bit. Like, initially it was like, okay, let's make sure we can pay our bills kind of thing. But then I saw how happy people were, and like they just loved this little community that we had built. So that became my success.
For so many people at different points in your career, I mean, you guys were small business owners. I've spent most of my career in corporate America, but it can feel like in the beginning, you make gains very quickly, right? Even if you're just new and you enter the workforce, it's like you can take these moves very quickly. And almost always you're taking a move that's like a logic, and then you start to get into this space where you might sit for a while because it's just not logical that you're going to continue to, you're not going to go from 1,000 members to 2,000 members in 1 year, right?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to anybody about that, sort of having to make that transition into accepting a little bit more of a slower trajectory? What have you learned sitting in that space, and what advice would you share with someone?
It's not all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, I know we are, I guess, a success story, but we definitely had our challenges. Definitely times where I was like, what are we doing? Why did we do this? But, you try to push that negativity out and get back to the reason, the positivity that started you off in the first place. We don't ever want to become stagnant. Yeah.
Right, which I think it's so important to, like, sitting in this middle space doesn't mean being stagnant, right? Mm-mm. That's not the same thing at all. It's really being able to kind of expand and grow within this space in the middle. How about for you, Tom? I mean, you've had a very successful military career. You're a pilot. Like, was that hard and again, achieving all those wins early on is fantastic, but was it difficult for you to then sort of be like, okay, but now we're here? How have you approached that?
Well, I'll piggyback on what she said, the one foot in front of the other thing. Every little thing that comes up, and it comes up often, inaction is fatal in business. So what you can't do is, if one of these little hurdles comes up, not address it. You got to address it right away. Even if you're fearful that the action that you take is going to be the wrong action, it still informs you on what to do next time.
As a pilot or in the military, did you have any similar experiences of not doing anything is the worst possible thing?
Yes, in aviation, not doing anything is the worst possible thing you can do. I mean, just like in aviation, in business, if something crops up, something goes awry, you have to address it right away. If you don't, it'll fester and turn into a bigger problem.
Right.
In aviation, it can be literally fatal
Right.
for people. In business, it could be fatal to your business.
Right.
And all the work that you put in goes up in smoke. So address every little thing.
Honestly, did it
Yeah.
ever put a strain on your marriage, or have you guys been able to like really sort of like almost keep like a little bit of boundary there? Like we're spouses and we're business owners, and like
Yeah,
there's a difference.
There's
don't
been
know.
some small conflicts
Okay.
here and there, but I think by and large, it's actually strengthened
Yeah.
our marriage
Yeah.
because it's forced us to communicate. And as you know, communication's great for marriages.
Yeah.
So
But it also highlights every day to me, I think, like his strengths, my strengths, his weaknesses, my weaknesses, and like we pitch in and help the other one out when they're like that's what a marriage is, right?
Right.